So on the 21st of December, I attended Royal Preston Hospital after having pains that felt like contractions, but I wasn't sure. And when I got there, they sent me to triage, and they explained to the midwife that was on that I was experiencing these pains every 2 to 5 minutes. She didn't write it down on a piece of paper, she wrote it down on a paper towel. She come back and she asked me for a urine sample, which I never got the results back for that. And then she said that they was going to put me on a CTG machine to monitor the baby's heartbeat. So they did all that, and then they kept coming and checking and saying that everything was all right with Ivy. The heartbeat was perfect and everything was all right. And then 45 minutes later, there was a doctor that came over, and he made me lie down on a bed, pressed my belly in, and said it was pelvic girdle pain, and to go home and take paracetamol, and that if the pain got worse, to come back within 24 hours, when he should have examined me, but he never did. So I went home, had a bath, tried to ease the pain, took some paracetamol and went to bed. And when I woke up, the pain just got worse. And then around 3 o'clock, I it started during the afternoon, but around 3 o'clock I started to give birth to Ivy Grace on the toilet at home. My mum wasn't there, she'd gone out, but I had to ring her. She came back, she rang for the ambulance. They said that they was on the way, but there was a delay with the ambulance. And when they eventually turned up, they took me into the living room and tried to help me give birth to Ivy, but she was breech. And then they helped me into the ambulance. I finally got Ivy out and tried to resuscitate her, but I don't think there was any sign of life. And then I remember they was on the phone to the midwife, who said that she was waiting at the neonatal part of the hospital with her team and an incubator, and instead of taking me there, they took me to A&E at Royal Preston, which was a delay. My mum and dad, they were confused. They went to A&E when they should have been at neonatal, and they had to run the full length of the hospital there and back a couple of times from different parts. A receptionist told my mum in A&E that the baby had passed away. And yeah, that's the day that everything just went bad from there, really. And yeah. That the speculum, they should have done the speculum, and they should have kept me in. And if they'd have kept me in, the outcome would have been different. Ivy would have been here. And that just eats away at you every day. I don't know how to put it into words, really, because there's all different emotions. Feel angry, heartbroken. I'm mad because I don't have her here when I know she should be here. And it just angers me, because really she should be here and I should be watching her grow up, but because of that, just for that tiny little observation that should have been took, she's not. So I get to miss out on watching my daughter grow up because he just couldn't be bothered to do it, and it breaks my heart. So on the 23rd, after spending the night in the hospital with Ivy and my partner Alex, we come home, and about 6-7 o'clock at night, I had a phone call off this number, and when I answered, it was the doctor that had sent me home from the examination from the night before. And he asked me to, he said there was going to be an investigation and to wait if I could until he got back from Pakistan, because he was going to Pakistan for 6 weeks, if I could wait for him to get back to, because he was going to attend the meeting with me. So at the time I said yeah, because I didn't know. We didn't even know there was going to be a meeting really about Ivy. And then that was that. So then until the investigation happened, really I blame myself for what happened to Ivy, because we didn't know that everything that was going to come out. And then when we attended the meeting, which was about 6 weeks after losing Ivy, we was told to go to Royal Preston Maternity, where we had to stand and watch brand new babies come out, and we didn't really know what was going on then, but I had to look at other babies when I'd just lost my own, and then in that meeting the man wasn't there, but we was told that things had happened. There was 11 counts of neglect, and that if he would have kept Ivy in that night, she would have survived. And the woman that told us that, she was also stood there with the neonatal team on the day of losing Ivy, and she said she had to run the full length of the corridors as well. But yeah. After I gave birth to Ivy, we was taken into this room where me and Alex was allowed to stay for the night with her, and the midwives were out of this world. They give us a cold cot so that we could spend the night with her. They come every so often. They checked on me, they checked on Alex, they checked on Ivy. They asked us if we wanted to do hand and footprints with Ivy, if we wanted to change her. They provided clothes and stuff that we could put her in, and all different outfits that we could take home. They provided a memory box full of stuff from the hospital for Ivy, and they were brilliant. But then after leaving the hospital, we just kind of felt lost again, because we wasn't seen really by anyone. We didn't know what was going on, and then like all of a sudden this bereavement midwife, Claire, she came to the house, and she's been brilliant. Claire's been brilliant. She's stayed all the way through it, and she's still in touch with us now. But other than that, we haven't really received any support. But they did diagnose me with PTSD, and I was treated with mirtazapine for that. But other than that, 2 years on, still nearly 2 years in December, we've only just really started to get the treatment now that we should have got 2 years ago. And it's horrendous, I think, to think that someone who's gone through that should be left and not feel like they have anyone, especially after losing the baby as well. I just think it's terrible. So I worked in a care home for 3 nights a week, and I loved the job that I did. I seen my friends a lot. I used to go out, I used to go shopping, go for meals, or I'd go and spend a lot of the time at my sister's. We'd get takeaway or just do things like that. But since all this has happened, I just feel like my confidence has been knocked back, and I don't really tend to do them things now. I stay with my mum a lot. At first, when it first happened, I didn't want to see anyone else with their baby, because I just thought, why can you have yours and I can't have mine? And I feel now that if I'm at home and I'm with Ivy's things, I'm safe. Nothing can hurt me now if I'm there. So I just tend to stay at home now really and be with my mum and my partner, and that's it.
What has changed?
So it was unexpected, but me and my partner found out that were pregnant again, and we're having another little girl. But this time round we've been going to the Rainbow Clinic at Chorley, where we still see Claire and other midwives, and they've been brilliant. You couldn't ask for better. But it's just, the thing is as well, it's sad because really, knowing the care that we've got this time, if we'd have got that with Ivy, just means she would have been here now, and she would have got to see our second little girl as well and be a sister to her. And it's just for the sake of the examination that he should have done, all of it could have been changed, and Ivy could have been here to see Myla, and it's just really sad, but you can't fault them for how they've done it this time, but it shouldn't take something like that to happen for you to get the treatment like this now. Which I think that needs to be like took on board. That no one should have to go through something like that to say that the treatment that they get next time, if they go on to have another baby, is good. Yeah.